Hey everyone, welcome to Tall, Dark, and Constructive. We have lots of fun today. Today we're going to be playing Oxygen Not Included. Now this is an early development build, as you can see up here in the top left hand corner. But it is a very fun game. I've played quite a bit of it, unfortunately. But I wanted to definitely show it off because it's still in early access and it's super fun, but it is rather challenging, and there are quite a few bugs, but we'll just kind of play around those as we go. So the premise of the game is that you're some sort of, actually, you know what, we're just going to play it. I'm going to create a new game, that way everything is brand new. Alright, so we've got 3 characters here that we get to, oh yeah, we get to change them around if we don't like them. You can see here you can shuffle them around to change things. Let's take a look at what we have. We have a level 7 chef. They are good at cooking, which is very handy because without food you'll starve. 5 digging, that's good for the beginning and even later on in the game. 8 digging, +1 to everything. And some people are just full of it. Irritable, ooh, that one's kind of disgusting. But, you know. Alright, and of course, decor expectation. Whenever you get a little bit further in, you learn about decor, the decorations for your base area. Now, the whole thing is that some people gain stress if the decor is high enough, so usually I keep these as low as possible if I can, but if I find a good character, then I'm going to keep it. So, the other thing you have to watch out for is stress response. Destructive means that they're going to go through and they're going to start smashing things in your base. And that's not necessarily a good thing, especially if they're at high stress. That means there's already problems going on. So we'll take a look here. 7 cooking is good. She can't cook with gastrophobia. Cannot perform job cook. Alright, well let's see if we can get something better for a chef. Technician, tinkering. Oh, that's right. Yeah, whenever they're tinkering, they get an increased speed whenever they're operating machines, which is very handy. Mouth breather. Ugh. They use up more oxygen, which oxygen is not included, in case you didn't know. 7 learning. 41 research points per day. Athletics, digging, anemic. Ugh. -5 athletics, that's not good. That means they move really slow. But they're really good at building, apparently. Alright, let's find something good. Tinkering biohazard. Keeps getting sick. But he has iron gut. You know what? Let's try that, because that mixes really interestingly. I think there's probably quite a lot of balancing that they need to do, because you'll get people that have, like, she has +1 cooking and gastrophobia, so she can't cook, but she has a bonus to it. And I've seen even higher bonuses with the same thing. So, alright, so let's find a better miner. Ooh, technician. Good at tinkering, a little +1 at everything, but a yokel cannot perform research. Well, that's okay. But I like it because they have bonuses to everything, and some good bonuses too, not just +1s like this guy. So I think I'm going to keep him. Shuffle this guy around. There's another technician. Artist. Miner, there we go. Learn it. Narcoleptic. Can fall asleep anytime, any place. Yeah, that could be dangerous. Alright. The Burgeoning Fortress. Let's see what we can call this instead. How about we call it Dark. Creative. Very original, I know. Alright, let's see what happens. Your crew has awoken miles beneath the surface of an unfamiliar. Speaking is hard. Your crew has awoken miles beneath the surface of an unfamiliar terrestrial body. Oddly, they have no recollection of how they got there. It might be best to start digging. The double entendre there, digging for information. Alright, so here we are. Spacebar to pause the game, which is very handy because sometimes you have to frequently pause to identify what you need to do. And you can obviously zoom in and zoom out. There's a lot of stuff nearby, a lot of oxalite. That's kind of like your freebie oxygen generation for the beginning of the game. Eventually it runs out though. There's a lot nearby. We've got water close by, a lot of copper here, coal. That's good for a later game. And there's several little areas around, but there's not a lot of other things here. Okay, well let's start digging. Dig that out, and let's dig over here this way too. One of the things that I've found is that they're not going to be able to reach that up there, so we will cancel it. They can reach up to 4 tiles high, so including the one they're standing on, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, they have to have something else that helps them get up there. So we'll unpause and have them go to it. Okay, see the miner, he mines a lot faster than these other two that aren't as good at mining. Requires toilets. Yeah, everyone's got to go. So one of the things that we'll do, there's lots of good places here to build out a base. Just trying to find out where some of the other resources are. There's water down there. Okay, so we want to transfer that down there and have this be our water pump station later, because it's a good storage area. So what I'm going to do is I'll start building a ladder and put that there. The handy thing about this game is that you can tell it to build over certain things. However, if you have tiles or other objects, then you can't build over those. Like if I try to build a ladder over this one right here, it won't let you do it because that tile overrides, I'm guessing, that space in the build stack. Everything's kind of like a deck of cards. They stack on top of each other, and certain things are on the same level. So it does make it rather difficult later on whenever you're trying to route wires and gas pipes and things like that. Alright, we have our day and night cycle up here in the top. The little pizza slice here is the night cycle where everyone needs to sleep. And if they get interrupted sleep, then they have problems working later in the day. I think they get like -1 or -2 penalty to their performance there. Ooh, that's good. That oxalite's just staying under the water. Hopefully I can save that for later. Oxalite, there's algae. There are also these plants, like these buried muck roots. I want to dig that one up. I'll dig up that one too, just because. Oh, it's a vacuum. So that means that as soon as you open up an entry in there, it starts pulling air into it. One of the important things you'll have to remember about this game also is your people are constantly exhaling oxygen or carbon dioxide. You'll see it a bit later whenever I get the daily report. But yeah, so if you're not careful, build some cots for them now, just temporary bedding up here. Excuse me, sorry, I've been getting over a stomach cold and injured back, so I'm a little bit on the weak and frail side. So we'll get them some cots so they can sleep whenever the night cycle does come. The system does, or at the start of the game, does provide you with food. It's got a little box here that has food in it, and you can see up here 21,000 calories. Every one of the little creatures, the little people, They each require at least 1,000 calories per day. Otherwise, they start to starve. So you have to watch out for what they're breathing. You have to watch out for what they're eating. I'll build that all the way over there. Ooh, abyssalite. What does that do again? Oh, yeah, abyssalite is something special. It has a temperature of absolute zero, negative 272.15. So it's very cold over there. There's different overlays you can look at. Here, I'll show you the temperature overlay. That's super cold. That is pretty warm. That's vacuum. It's cold. That's a vacuum. It's cold. That's a vacuum. It's cold. Over here, obsidian. That's on the warm side. I haven't really seen anything warmer than that. At 42 point whatever, 44. But abyssalite's the coldest I've seen. Alright, so there's a power grid overlay. Obviously, we don't have any power yet, so that's not work. There is the gas or oxygen overlay. It tells you what is breathable, what's not breathable. Gives you a rough idea. Like over here, there's chlorine. Chlorine gas, yeah, not very healthy for human beings. Hydrogen, more chlorine, oxygen, water, what's red stuff? Carbon dioxide, yeah. That's the stuff your people are constantly breathing out. And as you can see, there's little pockets of carbon dioxide, that are slowly gathering up, and then they're traveling down here to the lowest point, just like the real gas would. So eventually, we're going to get to work on providing gas flow, filters, and things like that, so oxygen is generated and the CO2 is scrubbed to generate oxygen. Alright, light, that's the only thing providing light. I don't know how they're working in the complete dark, but you know what? Let's just go with it. Liquid plumbing? No plumbing yet. Gas plumbing? None of that yet either. Decor? Yeah, the only thing that's got decor is our printing pod. And then there's a priority overlay which shows how important things are to get done. So one of the other things I need to do is to get this set up to be dug out. You can see here this mealwood, a nutritionally hardy plant well suited for domestication. It produces an edible grain that is suspiciously capable of movement. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be kind of weird. How would you feel if your rice all of a sudden started crawling around? Yeah, it looks pretty interesting later on whenever you see those, but those are a really good source of food later, so you want to build a little farm. Now, one of the whole points about this game is kind of like compartmentalizing. Like you build this section here specifically for growing food, you build this section here for generating power, and then you have to connect them all. That way each of those areas get, air or water or whatever it is that they need. So that's what I was saying down here, is that this is a good place for like an aquifer, a place for our water storage. And one of the other things is you see there's all these mineral information, including our food here. Each one of these things that's on the ground that people can get to is counted up here. At least I think it's what they can just get to. I haven't actually tested that out. But that lets you know kind of a rough idea about what you got. So sandstone is pretty much one of the only raw materials. Water is the only thing there. Aha, raw metal. We just got some metal. Nighttime. You go to bed. Where are you going? Oh, trying to finish your job. You can see here the fluid is a little bit odd in this game. It kind of acts more like a syrup. it kind of sticks to things. Like see, I've stuck up here on this section of the wall, and it slowly will travel down until it reaches a point to where there's like an equilibrium here to where it no longer starts falling. So there'll still be like pockets of water up here or pockets of liquid because it does it with all the liquids. So it can be kind of annoying because it gets sticky. It doesn't quite work the way you'd expect it to for actual water. But early alpha, or alpha at least, it's going to have some issues, but I'm hoping that that's one of the things that they will take care of. All right, everyone, back to work. Oh yeah, as far as toilets, I might want to get that done before accidents happen, because it's a decent human thing to do. Give them a place to do their business. Build 2 of those over there. But in the instance that they have like an accident or something like that, which is literally what it says, such and such has had an accident, then it can come down here and it can taint the water and have the water, instead of just being water, it'll be like this. It'll be contaminated water. And while they can pump it out manually by hand, and they'll use that to feed into other machines to do things, and it works just fine there. But whenever you start getting your piping system and plumbing system going on, some of the machines will just fill up with the contaminated water and won't work because they're expecting only water. So there's another little issue that you got to watch out for. It makes sense, but there's no way to empty it. You have to literally deconstruct the building to get it to work. Alright, let's increase the priority of these because we got several of them saying that there's needed to go potty. Look at them. Hey, he needs to go potty too. Alright, let's get this stuff done. Yes, that's what you're building. Copper. I like how the copper shimmers whenever you move by it. And so does the gold amalgam. And there's another one, but I don't see any around here. I think it's, there it is, iron ore. It does that shiny thing as you move by, which is really cool. I'm hoping that there's going to be lots of different uses for the specific materials, because later on you can get something that's called hand sanitizer, and you find it, there'll probably be some over here, because there's usually a lot of it around chlorine, called bleach stone. And what that does is you can use that to make the hand sanitizer. And so you specifically have to have bleach stone for it. So I'm hoping that, like this abyssalite, that there will be something that it does. It's literally, it says special, so I think there's something planned for it. Vacuum. Alright, so we got water access there. Now you'll see slowly, yeah, carbon dioxide, it's starting to flow down here. Go to our gas overlay. You see how it's filling that up, and it'll fill it all the way back up here. So one of the things that we're going to need to do, for one, is we're going to need some power. So I'm going to go ahead and build this here. A little tiny battery next to it. Build some electro wire. And it has to be built over these plugs. It can't just be on any corner or anything like that. Wow, how do you get up there? You gotta be careful. Sometimes these guys will get entombed, which I could understand if sand, which sand kind of does the same thing as like Minecraft. If you dig out this section here, these two will fall down into it. So it's kind of annoying, especially if there's multiple people digging in different areas. Now I left this here because I want it to go ahead and try to grow. I don't know how long it's going to take. Got a battery, got wire. Insufficient resources for electrical wire, of course. Okay. So then, let me like this. 2, 3, 4. There. 2, 3, 4. There. Oops. And then dig. At an increased priority, I'm only going to dig out 2 slots so I can get into here. I'm going to dig out all of you. Yeah, all of you. Oh, you darn narcolepts. So we're building the base, waiting on more copper. There's not up there. Can't quite reach those. I could build a ladder, I guess, and then that would allow him to reach it. But like this. Can you dig it? Probably. I mean, they got these really nifty machines that do all sorts of different things, like build stuff with a gun. They have build guns, they have water guns, they have digging guns, they have this little regular ray gun. Like, really? Alright, that guy just got a skill increase. He increased in construction, so he's better at building. Yeah, one of the other things you can run into sometimes is that you can expand too fast in this game. And if you do that, then you'll probably not have enough oxygen specifically, and that'll just be a problem. Ah, see, there's the sand. You get to the bottom, it falls down. You do that one, that's going to fall, that's going to fall, that's going to fall. Or that guy's going to dig it out first. Then that falls. It's very handy to have the right click and drag. You can also middle mouse click and drag. The clicking always only highlights things. You can't drag select except for whenever you're prioritizing or giving an order to do something. Colony requires a food source. I know. Alright, let's get a microbe musher. Oh, there's stairs by. Alright, you microbe musher. Power. So I have plenty to last quite a few days. That's got to count down for the next person that we can choose to summon, basically. Massage table. Actually works rather well, but it takes them out of doing stuff for a while. Which makes sense. If you're getting a massage, you're not going to be working. Hey everyone, thanks for watching part 1 of the alpha of Oxygen Not Included. I will be doing several more of these, hopefully. If you have any suggestions, comments, or anything you like or don't like, please let me know. I'll see you guys later. Ta-ta!